Ooh, ooh, look at those dents on your face, girl. Don't you have a Zoom meeting with your boss at 3? Makeup ain't fixing that. Get some ice, niacinamide in your red light now.
Dents go by a couple different names. They go by stamps, dents, actually facial barotrauma. The primary causes are the way that the strap is positioned, either too high or too low. You have a very rigid frame, uh, which contributes. Hard skirts. Your lens selection, if you have a dual lens, that's putting more pressure on your face. High volume, also in your mask, and also sunscreens. In general, it's the overall fit of how the mask fits your female face. The primary zones where you're going to see mask marks are in the glabella region, the brow ridge, upper cheek, ear troughs, nasal bridge, and under the eyebrow. It is considered facial trauma. It's a standard compression injury. Uh, Mild is considered where there is some redness and light imprints. Moderate would be anywhere between 12 and 48 hours. Severe barotrauma would be anywhere from 48 to 96 hours. And the cause is just a tight fit, negative mask pressure. You're just not able to adjust the fit. How do you tell where your mask strap is? Well, if your mask strap is too low, you're going to be having most of your marking on the very up part of your face. So it's going to be in your glabella area, the sides of your temples, in those areas. Some on the brow ridge, usually these are pretty deep dents and they can last anywhere from 12 to 24 hours. If you're during descent, which is a common problem, and you want to avoid some matte sunscreens. Some of the matte sunscreens actually provide additional surface tension because they don't glide. The silicone stick skirts, increasing the denting. So in treatment, first line of treatment is heat and cold. You always start off with cold first, which I know seems counterintuitive. It is inflammation. So you're always going to treat inflammation with cold first. How are you going to do that on the boat? Super simple. Go in the cooler, grab a cold drink, rub it on your forehead, rub it on your cheeks. If you did that by the time you finished your last dive to the ride in, is the perfect amount of time for a cold treatment. Strap is too high, you're going to be having cheek trauma, tear trough trauma, brow pressure, and again, 12 to 48 hours on those mask dents. And they're fairly deep, especially on the cheeks. Cheeks and the forehead are where you're going to get the two deepest dents. Prevention is your very first option always. You're going to try to either raise or lower that strap. Click it looser, 1 to 2 clicks should help. Make sure that you are equalizing. Heat is applied after the first 24 hours. That initial inflammation should have disappeared, and now you're really trying to work on your capillary refill again. Me personally, which was the impetus of me doing this video, is I can have mask standing up to 4 days. I don't have a holiday picture or a celebration picture that I've actually gone diving before that I don't have mask dents in my face. What I have noticed is as I've gotten older, those dents are not bouncing back on my skin as fast as an aging face with all females or even people. You have a reduction in your facial volume, the compression from diving with the pressure on a poor fitting mask or a mask that should be changed out. Those dents last for days and they can do permanent damage. I myself have noticed that I was starting to get a dent that was just there all the time. And actually, I have enough lines on my face. I don't want any more. So after our treatment for heat and cold, your next option is, well, here's a little tidbit, is add some niacinamide. You're not going to want to add any more than a 2 to 5% niacinamide. Niacinamide reduces the redness, it replumps the compressed tissue, it's going to speed up healing and also help with your barrier. And you're going to apply this after you've done your cold treatment and before you do the heat treatment. Niacinamide is in everything. I implore you to try to find something that doesn't have it in it. Very easy to put in your dive bag. Little moisturizer with a 2 to 5% in it is going to be perfect. And again, it's going to reduce that lining time that you have on your face by about half. Another really great option in treatment is using a red light. If you don't have a red light or are not a red light user, this is the time to maybe think about getting one. One more reason. And check out some of the holidays and Black Friday sale. I will connect a link to the best guy who reviews all the red lights and what he has to say. You can check that video out. He's really wonderful. A side note on red light, if you don't have one, buy a panel. Just buy a panel. They are cheaper than most of the masks and they have a much stronger and better lighting system. So how would you apply a red light to mask tents? Well, you're not going to want to do it at least 1 to 3 hours afterwards because it can be vasoconstricting. You're going to want to add it 1 to 3 hours after the dive, after the tissue starts to compress. Your setting on your red light, on your red setting, you're going to want to 850 on your, and you're going to want to use it about 5 to 10 minutes. And you're going to want to be, if it's a panel, you're going to want to be 2 to 6 inches away. If it's on a mask, don't worry about it. The mask is kind of gauged towards that. And again, do not apply this immediately after diving. You're going to want to wait a couple hours. What red light does is in this, it's going to help with the microcirculation, dent recovery with the collagen rebound effect. So to wrap things up, cold first, then heat, niacinamide in between cold and heat. After cold, after niacinamide, try your red light. When to replace? If you are having denting more than 12, although it's recommended at 48 to 96 hours, if you're a repetitive diver, if you're having denting on a regular basis and you've made the adjustments, it's time to replace. If you have a mask that isn't denting your face, I would love to hear about it. Please put it down below and share it with the community. Um, it's always nice to have as many resources as you can. Personally, I just replaced my mask. This is an issue for me. Again, I think I said I have denting that lasts up to 4 or 5 days. I didn't want to get rid of my mask, but I can tell you today, I don't have any mask dents. And I took pictures at family gatherings at Thanksgiving last night, and I didn't have a dent on my face. It was really nice. So, not everybody needs to know when I go diving. If you would like a PDF on a mask guide for women, the 13 best reviewed, they're linked down below. For the masks that I purchased, I also interviewed the manufacturer at DEMA, unknowingly that I was going to turn around and buy one of their masks, which I did get on a Black Friday sale. You can watch that video. I'll link that below. It explains everything about their brand standards, and what's unique about the mask and the skirting and the frame that offshoots glabella denting, which is my main issue. So, again, as always, thank you. Dive safe, dive within your limits, and as always, dive, dive, dive. Catch you next time.
Ocean.